there, it's Randy T-Bird out here in sunny Arizona on a Wednesday morning about 11 o'clock. I took a vacation day off because, well, goddammit, I just wanted to go for a ride. So I took one of my many vacation days that I usually squander, not get to use, so we're doing that today. Out riding the Streetbob. I think I'm gonna just no particular destination in mind, just going. You know, the Streetbob here is fully broken in now, and I've given it the stick a couple times, and it really rolls. For a stock motor with just slip-ons, this thing screams. And I know that's people out there with sport bikes are chuckling, you know, that's cool. It's fast for me. It's definitely the quickest Harley I have ever owned. And I've owned a few, but this one definitely runs good. The combination of relatively lightweight for the Harley world and for the cruiser world, and that big motor, it's good. I really am enjoying this bike. I've made some additions to the bike to make it more comfortable for my short arms and short legs. I went through a couple seats. I had a seat from the Heritage that I kept, I had the stock seat, and another seat, the Mustang seat that I had got traded at the swap meet, and all of those had their own charms, but for some reason they set me down to where it put my hips and legs at an odd angle for the rider triangle, and was uncomfortable. Felt like my knees were really high. I don't know how anybody tall rides these bikes without forward controls. But I now have a Saddlemen LS step-up seat, and that adds about an inch, maybe a little bit more in height, and puts me forward just a taste. Got tremendous back support, and so far I'm really liking it. It is hard. They tell me it takes 1,000 miles or so to break in, but I've had Corbins on bikes before, and the hard doesn't really bother you because the shape is good. So we'll see how that shakes out. But right now, I feel like I could go a ways on this without any real uncomfortable things. And it changed the angle of my legs and my hips, which really made the difference. And I just put my hand in front of the lens. Sorry, I was wiping a bug off my screen. Anyway, so we're just checking that out, and like I said, just out for a ride, no particular destination. Just still beautiful out. It's gonna be like 92 today, but right now it's still in the 80s, maybe the low to mid 80s. Very comfortable. That will not last forever, but I'm gonna try and enjoy it when I can. April's a great month out here in Arizona. Yeah, I see from YouTube and Instagram a lot of people are finally getting some spring in their other parts of the country and are getting out and enjoying a ride. That's a good thing. It was kind of an odd spring for us here. We'd have really warm and then cold, and then, well, cold for us anyway. And then when it's only 62 or 3 degrees, and then for a high, for us here in the desert, that's downright polar. So I know people that I lived in Colorado for 2 years, and if it was 50 degrees in the winter, you were overjoyed and went for a ride. So we've got some thin blood out here in the desert. Anyway, there's a weekday traffic, pretty light. Get around this truck. Gotta love the way this thing accelerates. I'm in 6th gear, and it just feels like zip, it just goes. Just to roll on the throttle. I think I'm gonna go down the highway here. This This down goes by Saguaro Lake. I haven't been down there for a while, but maybe I'll check it out. Saguaro Lake is probably one of the closer lakes to the city, and usually on the weekends it's pretty crowded out here. It's also the start of the Verde River rafting and tubing area, just the other side of the dam here, so that keeps a lot of people out here in the summer. If you need a really good sunburn, it's a good place to go. But I do know, I know that from experience, from high school days and stuff. People used to come out here, and yeah, usually you get a good sunburn. You're floating down the river in an inner tube, kind of a lazy flow. It's not a wild river by any means. It's got too many dams on it, starting with Roosevelt Dam. Another bike. A lot of people out enjoying the weather. More bikes. Look like a Heritage and an Ultra Classic. That's baggers, man, they're a thing all over the country, but more so out here, I think. There's so many guys riding baggers. I mean, it's incredible. It's just like every 9 out of 10 bikes seems to be that. I think this Bush Highway goes all the way back around down into East Mesa. A lot of times on the weekends there's a ton of traffic out here, so I kind of avoid it. A lot of people drinking, and even though the sheriff's department patrols pretty heavily, there's some hawks up there soaring. I doubt we'll get that on my camera, but sure was pretty. Watch that hawk flying around looking for breakfast, probably, or lunch. Not a good time to be a desert mouse, or even a small snake. Speaking of snakes, they're out. It is spring, so you gotta watch if you're out wandering around the bushes out there. They are out there, and they will rattle, and if you don't heed that rattle, you might get bit. I'm told that that's not pleasant at all. It has a necrotizing type effect and kills the tissue around the bite, and so, well, not that many people die from them anymore. You get really sick. I love the way the mountains look down here in this canyon, the Verde River Canyon, or Salt River Canyon. It's the southern part of it. There is another Salt River Canyon up on the other side of the dam, Roosevelt Dam, that's just incredible. You go down from Sholo, Arizona, down into the canyon. That's really, really nice. Like, I have been up there for a few years, but there's a guy on a Fat Boy Low. I had one of those. It's been a few years since I've been up there, but taken that road a few times. It's got some spectacular views. There's a parking waiting area. You literally have to, sometimes you have to park and wait to get into the lake up here. In the summertime, that is very unpleasant. A little fire damage out here. A lot of burned trees. This must have been relatively recent. I don't know if it was part of that big fire we had last year. There's a guy on an adventure bike, a small one. I see a lot of these Chinese-made bikes, CSC, even Benelli, old Italian name that's being made in China now. I see them. They're relatively inexpensive, but man, I hear really bad things about them. There's a guy on the neck that writes about this really cheap enduro bike called a Hawk 250, and watching his videos and the things he has to do to those things. I mean, right out of the crate, the motor sprocket, or the countershaft sprocket, did not even align with the rear sprocket. I mean, he had to space the sprocket. He had to rebuild the chain adjusters. I mean, That's insane. I mean, that's just garbage. It's just garbage. Oh, I'm on the wrong side here. All right. No harm, no foul. Nobody behind me to piss off. So this is the lake. Ah, beauty. There's some boats out there today. Nice blue water. Little twisty road that goes down in here. There's a little marina down in here, parking area. You can check out the lake. Beautiful. Like everything else in Arizona and probably other places, you got to pay to drive through anywhere near the shore of the lake. So the marina parking is free, at least right now it is. But yeah, you got to pay for everything. Last summer I bought the National Parks Golden Years Pass, or whatever they call it. It's a lifetime thing. Cost me 80 bucks. I can get into any of the national parks for free. So we're going to try that out this year. Last year it came too late for my trip to Colorado. I was expecting it before we left. It didn't show up, and then when we got back it was in the mail. So go figure. Go figure. Anyway, we got it this year. It is a lifetime thing, so we'll get to use it. And the good thing about it, it doesn't apply to just me. It applies to whoever's in the vehicle. So I can put 10 people in the vehicle and drag them all into the parks. Wow, this is really busy today. No parking, no parking, no parking. Wow. Yeah, there's some spots here. I'll park up here, close to the exit. Desert's looking good. So this is Saguaro Lake. I haven't been out there on a boat. Years ago my dad had a boat, but we mostly went to northern Arizona, up to in the cool country. He didn't like the desert lakes much, but he was big into fishing, so he would take the trip. Anyway, just getting a little panorama here, and get away from these cars. As you could probably tell, I'm on foot now. Helicopter area. They have looks like a little patio restaurant up there. I've eaten there a couple times. It's kind of average. And they've got these tour boats that you can go out. Desert Belle. Last I was up here, there was a bunch of turtles swimming around here, right there at the edge. Anyway, it's Randy T-Bird out here in Arizona. Just out for a ride on a Wednesday morning. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends, like my videos, turn on the notification bell. I put out videos every week, sometimes two. Occasionally I will miss a week, but I try to make up for it. Anyway, it's Randy T-Bird signing out.